YouTube, what up?
Oh shit, hold on, let me get myself together.
Right now we got Stephen A. picks prime Kobe over Shaq. First take, and look, bro, I couldn't agree more. And look, y'all know I'm probably one of the most diehard Kobe fans. Like, I hate that whenever Kobe was in his prime, it was a comparison for him and MJ as the GOAT. But as LeBron has won championships, won a couple more MVPs, I mean, ain't nothing wrong with LeBron being the GOAT conversation for other people. You know what I'm saying? He's in my top 3. But what I hate the most is that people try to diminish Kobe's legacy and career because of LeBron. You know what I'm saying? I just don't get it. I don't understand it. And you know, for me, it's Kobe, Mike, and Bron. You know what I'm saying? For Mike and Bron, you could switch. I could switch them out. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. But Kobe is my GOAT fan. How you gonna be? A lot of people say Michael Jordan's the GOAT, right? So Kobe is everything MJ was, but he could pull up from 30. And then he can reverse pivot and make shots. Like, I don't get it, bro, but let's go ahead and see what these niggas gotta say. I already know Max Kellerman's gonna say some bullshit I ain't gonna like. Cause he always talking about some Kobe just the greatest bad shot maker of all. Like, trying to like, man, what, nigga? And then talk about Kawhi more clutch than, like, bro. I know I'm gonna get pissed off, but I'm gonna share it with y'all and share my raw emotions with y'all. Cause, man, it be an everyday struggle, man.
This to say in response to Kobe's tweets, quote, "It's all good, bro. When I saw the interview, I thought you were talking about Dwight. Is that how you spell his name? LOL." Dwight with his reaction to the diesel.
Did I see what Shaq said? No, I really didn't see what Shaq said. It's okay. I'm not here to talk about Shaq. What he said, what he did, it's irrelevant to what I'm trying to do. So,
They should be on that nigga ass and shit.
My focus is on one thing.
There's a lot to unpack here. The Dwight thing.
Well, leave Dwight alone. Like, come on, don't pile on Dwight at this point.
I agree with you on that. Shaq shouldn't pile on Dwight.
It was funny, but
I was. Did you see how Dwight looked? Was that just the angle of the phone or something? Looked a little drawn. You know what I mean? Just,
like
yeah. He looked.
Maybe he's been working out.
Look thin. That's not what they need. They don't need a thin. I mean, they don't need. I mean, you know.
Dwight's getting older. You know, as athletes age and they stay lean, that sometimes is a look. Dwight Howard in person, like as a physical specimen, shoulders
he's like that
crazy.
Superman type.
Yeah, he'll need to be that, though. He'll need to be that. He'll need to be that to survive in LA.
It's just like, look, when
too.
Shaq was piling on once upon a time, Dwight kind of deserved it because he thought more of himself offensively than maybe he actually, all those kind of things. But at this point,
no,
Dwight's coming back humble to the Lakers.
Fun. He's just playing.
Of course, that's why it's funny. It's just, you know.
All right, let's get to it. The last
petty ass white man.
Kobe, Stephen A. Smith, putting you on the spot here. I know you're friends with both of them. Who would you rather have in their prime?
Kobe.
No cap.
I think that Shaq. Listen, you think Wilt Chamberlain, you think Shaq, two most dominant forces we've ever seen in the history of basketball. That's what you see, okay? So nobody's trying to act like Shaq is not the most dominant force I've ever seen.
Most dominant player
on a basketball court. But I am always partial to guards because centers need help. If you're Shaq, you needed Kobe or somebody else to get you the basketball and to give you the ball in the right spots and things of that nature. When you are guard, you are more in a position to dictate the level of success that you ultimately accomplish for yourself, more so than the big man needing the assistance of guard play in order to facilitate that success. Kobe could be out on the perimeter. Kobe could go to the hole. Kobe could finish on a break, even though Shaq, for a big boy, could finish on a break too. But the biggest reason, and I've told Shaq this on several occasions, the biggest thing that I've held against Shaq more than anything is the fact that Shaq, those free throws, in the fourth quarter, you were limited with what you could do. Now, Shaq's position has always been, I made them when they counted. When you really needed me to step up, I could make those. And there was plenty of times in big moments where you needed Shaq to hit a free throw, and he actually did pull it off. But the point is that from the free throw line, career-wise, he was somewhat of a liability. You can't say the same.
Ain't no
about
somewhat,
Kobe.
he was.
And so when you look at Kobe Bryant and the arsenal that he brought to the table in his prime, as dominant as Shaq was, I would pick.
Prime Kobe is 81 Kobe. And people like to, you know, MVPs is about story. It's not about being the best player. And once Shaq left, Kobe solidified himself as the best player in the world. But he wasn't winning no MVPs because he was on such a trash Laker team. Like, what's part of what's left from from Shaq's departure. This nigga Kobe was putting up like 30 plus 35, some crazy like that points per game, bro. And then in the 2000s, like, niggas was still like, nigga, like, bro, I'll knock your jaw off, you know what I'm saying? Some shit like, bro. And this nigga only got one MVP. And that's what they get. That's why I feel like a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, just don't put him in that category, I think, because of, you know, rewards and accolades and all that shit. That shit don't tell the whole story. Like, fam, this nigga should have at least 4. Easy. At least 4. But it was only one season. I think that was like the 2008-9 season, or 2007 to 2008. It was after Steve Nash and shit like that. Like, bro, you should just, man, fuck that shit.
A guard. It's not really about Shaq or Kobe. I would pick an elite guard over an elite big man 99% of the time, just because they have the ball in their hands more and they're able to dictate their success.
The answer is Shaq, because they played in their prime together, and Shaq was the undisputed #1 player in the world.
They played in their prime together, fam. No. Fucking dickhead. You know, bro. Fam. Okay, they both was at the same level when they were playing together, yes. But Kobe reached a whole nother level, fam, when that nigga, when Shaq left. Like, bro, Kobe wasn't pulling up from 30 when he had the afro, bro. It's when he cut that shit off, he started pulling up, hitting 12 threes in the game and shit like that. Like, bro, man, what?
When they were both in their primes. And even if you want to argue that Kobe was in his prime during the next 3 trips to the finals, 2 wins with Pau Gasol, or in between when he had that crazy 81-point game and everything, okay, even that Kobe was not going to be compared favorably to Shaq. But I understand.
Okay, I'm done. Just give me a moment to get my mind frame back together. I just can't deal with stupidity and bullshit. I just can't do it. I just can't do it. Alright, I'm sorry, man. Just sometimes I get real emotional when it comes to Kobe. Like, I don't play about that shit. Like, you can't compare that shit to Shaq. Like, fam, what? It be niggas like this. It be goofy ass niggas. I like Max Kellerman, bro. It's just sometimes he be just saying some bullshit out of his mouth.
And is not seen as valuable as it was back then, right? So it's easy to elevate Kobe over Shaq when you think about it like that. But at the time, look, Kobe Bryant is weird. Remember when I put him on? He could be on the worst all decade, you know, the worst team all decade, because he was so bad at the end of his career. But he was all-decade team early in his career. Kobe's one of these weird players. He is both among the most overrated and underrated players ever.
Bro, what the fuck did he just say?
Overrated by fans who saw him and think he's better than Jordan. Because when your eyes were on Kobe Bryant, if you didn't live through Michael Jordan, it is hard to imagine when you were watching him in his prime that anyone could be better than that. That's how great he was. So people overall, he's the greatest ever. No, he's not better than Jordan. But then he's become underrated by some others. Kobe's not a top 10 player. Stop. The analytics don't fully capture his greatness because we've entered a more efficient era and he played in a less efficient one. Kobe in his prime was a top 10 all-time player. But Stephen A.
Top 10, like, fam. I want y'all to look at Kobe Bryant highlights, fam. How many, list me all the players that is real deal better than him without the accolades. Like, who real deal, who's better? Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Shaq, Tim Duncan, LeBron. All them niggas is better than him. Would shut him down. Will Chamberlain, would shut Kobe Bryant down. Larry Bird would shut. Like, fam, this shit is bullshit. Like, I don't even be listening to these rankings and shit like that. Like, fam, this.
Hey, Kobe was never undisputed. He was never the undisputed champ. Like, that dude undisputed best player in basketball. Because first there was Shaq, then he and Duncan were like neck and neck, and then came LeBron. Kobe was in the mix the way Magic and Bird, neither one, like Magic and Bird kind of shared an era. Bird at first, then Magic came on later in terms of who peaked. Duncan and Kobe, same kind of thing. The undisputed champs in our lifetime, Michael Jordan, undisputed champ, everyone shut up. No, like it was laughable to compare anyone to him in his prime. Then Shaq came.
Shaq wasn't the undisputed best player in the league. Like, let's shut the fuck up, bro. Like, he wasn't the undisputed best player. Like, yeah, he's the best player in the fucking planet. Like, no, fam. He was most dominant. The best player at that time before Kobe started just getting, because this nigga like 17, 18, 19. Kobe was. So at that time, nigga, they was probably saying a fucking Allen Iverson and shit like that. Like, fam, we'll stop that shit.
It was
like,
undisputed, brother. No one disputed his claim to the best player in the world. Not Duncan, not Kobe, nobody. Olajuwon early a little bit, but I mean when Shaq and
dominance of Shaquille O'Neal. Shaquille O'Neal didn't win a championship with Eddie Jones. He didn't win a championship with Penny Hardaway. He won a championship with Kobe. And even when he won a championship with D. Wade, who was it that won that championship for the Miami Heat? It was D. Wade. Guard play.
I'm saying, but that's that bullshit, bro. My bad, y'all. It just, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, look. If you like this content, like the video. I'ma fuck with y'all, bro. I got a music video out right now called Take It Off. Link is in the description below. Fuck with y'all niggas, man. I'm out of here.